What's up, guys? Today is going to be a different video. It's going to be more of a sit down, and we're going to talk about how to get into one of my favorite authors, which is Joseph Finder. Now, if you don't know much about Joseph Finder, he's a mystery thriller, uh, maybe a contemporary, not really much, but he deals with the business aspect of the mystery. So a lot of his works deal with high companies like Apple, but he won't use their name in his books. He will use another company that kind of work that's kind of similar to what Apple is, or Microsoft, or Samsung. And so for today, I'm gonna tell you how to get into him, where to start from him, and what you should know before you get into any of his books. Anyway, so let's jump into it. So for the first book, for Joseph Finder, he has Killer Instinct, and for this one, I would say this will be his entry because you get to fill out his writing and you get to fill out whether you will like him or not. And for me, his writing is really well done and really well crafted. He gets it to where the first page you are automatically into the action, almost like James Patterson. They write similar ways. And what I mean by that is that when it comes to their writing, they want to make sure that you understand the characters, you understand the plot, you understand the storyline, and you understand what is their main purpose in that book. Who are they trying to find? Who are they trying to get free? And how did they get there? And so for me personally, I love that because it doesn't take too much brain power, especially after you've had a long day of work, school, kids, family, whatever you have on your plate. It's easy book to get into, and it helps you wind down in a way where it's very not too much like high fantasy, where that book you have to use your brain, you have to keep remembering, okay, well, who said what, who did this, where did this happen, who's all in it. So yeah. Alright, so for the second book, I would recommend The Switch. This book, it's relatively short. It's about 460 pages, which isn't too long for Joseph Finder, but then sometimes it is. But the one thing with his longer books is that you get more character development, which is something I love that he does really well. Like, for instance, let's say you have a male character who's got daddy issues, who's a detective, and he's trying to figure out, okay, where did this happen? How did this happen? We get that detail without him doing too much telling. It's more straight to the point, and it's a very easy, very well concise, put up together story. And he does it where he'll give you enough information to keep wanting to read to the next page. And there'll be some times where I'll be reading his book and not even realizing I flew through 10 chapters, and I'm like, where did that even happen? And so finally, for a third book to get into, would be Paranoia. Now, Paranoia is pretty much what it is in the title. You have the main character, and he's put in an interesting position because he has to figure out who in the business is trying to get him out and why are they trying to get him out. And when you go through the story and keep going, you kind of get lost because there's some points in the story where you're like, is he really seeing this, or is this all in his head? So that's the question you have to ask yourself, like, what is reality, what is not, who is actually there, and who is sort of like a sub character that he's coming up with so that he can cope with what he's going through in actual reality. And finally, for the last book, would be Banished. Now, if you like Stephen King, or if you like, I'm trying to think of another author who's like Stephen King. Or if you like Riverdale, which is like an odd connection to make, but if you like any of those two people, this book will be the book you'll like because it's very short, it's straight to the point, and it's not too long in a sense where you feel like you're dragging on the story, but it's long enough for you to get the whole full picture once you finish the last page. the last page and the first page start with the same word and they end together. So it's almost like foreshadowing in how he gets everything done and how he lays out everything in Banished. So I hope you guys liked today's video. It was more of a video that I got from watching Daniel Green and his video of how to deep dive into Stephen King. If you like this series that I'm doing, I'll be doing another one on Nora Roberts. She's a really good contemporary artist. And I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.